A very good evening and welcome to News First Primetime News here on MTV Sports.
First, a look at the stories making headlines tonight.
Repair work on the Lakvijaya power plant unsuccessful. Power cuts to continue. Summons issued on Minister Rishad Badiuddin to appear before the Mana Magistrates Court. Grievous environmental destruction caused by illegal sand mining in the Mio area. And the London 2012 Olympic Games comes to a grand close with the USA on top of the medals table.
And now for the stories in detail. The Mana Magistrates Court issued summons on Minister Rishad Badiuddin today to appear in court on the 27th of this month. Summons was served in connection with an incident where attempts were made to influence the Mana magistrate over the telephone concerning a case.
Panadura Magistrate R.S.A. Disanayaka presided over hearings of the case at the Mana Magistrates Court today. The Secretary of the Bar Association of Sri Lanka, Sanjay Gamage, said that 4 lawyers had made representations to the magistrate with regard to the incident. There is a case pertaining to a complaint filed by the Honourable Magistrate of Mana, Judson, regarding an incident where he was obstructed from carrying out his duties independently. On behalf of the Bar Association, we requested that summons be served on the key suspects in this case. Rishad Badiuddin was named as a suspect in this case. Based on our request, the court issued summons on Minister Rishad Badiuddin today to appear in court on the 27th of this month. A testimony was also obtained from the Criminal Investigations Department today. Meanwhile, the Mana Magistrates Court also ordered that the 13 individuals who were arrested in connection with damaging the court complex during a recent demonstration be further remanded.
The Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter of the Siam sect, the most venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakkhita Thera, states that the people will always appreciate the services rendered by President Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Mahanayaka made this statement when he met with President Mahinda Rajapaksa this morning.
The President, who arrived at the temple of the Sacred Tooth relic in Kandy, engaged in religious observances. Thereafter, the President called on the Mahanayaka of the Asgiri chapter, the most venerable Udugama Sri Buddharakkhita Thera. Here, the Mahanayaka said that the majority of the people have placed their trust on the President. He had also blessed the President with the courage and strength to work for the people and the country in the future. The President also held cordial discussions with people who had arrived at the temple of the Sacred Tooth relic.
A group of farmers in the Suriweva area in Hambantota engaged in a demonstration today against a blocked waterway which provides water for irrigational activities in the area. The farmers charged that they have been severely inconvenienced as a result of this situation.
Representatives of 31 farmer organizations took part in the demonstration, which was held opposite the Suriweva Divisional Secretariat. The farmers charged that due to the blocked waterway, farmlands in the Mahapalassa, Badigamtota and Miniwal Ara areas have been destroyed. The farmers have become so helpless that they are even considering committing suicide. We request officials to help protect these crops. News First contacted the Director General of the Mahaveli Authority, Gamini Rajakarna, regarding the problems faced by farmers in the Suriweva area, and he said that at present water cannot be issued to farmlands as the water levels at the Udavalava reservoir are significantly low. They were supposed to provide us water for 2 more days. However, farmers who support Minister Pushpa Kumara arrived at the location and obstructed the waterway. We went to break this barrier. However, they didn't allow us to do so. They reprimanded everyone, including the police. I do not know about such an incident. I certainly did not travel to that location and I have not received reports of such an incident either. If anyone says that I am involved in this, I completely deny this allegation. Over the past few days, a number of instances were reported where farmers engaged in protests demanding for water. On the 2nd of this month, a group of farmers engaged in a protest claiming that water is not being released from the Chandrika tank in Amblipitia for farming activities. The farmers arrived at the banks of the tank and held a protest against the actions of the Mahaveli authorities. The farmers blocked the Ambalipitia-Nonagama road from 2 locations and engaged in their protest. Later, a group of farmers opened a sluice gate of the tank located in the Tunkama area.
The Ceylon Electricity Board says that power cuts experienced in certain parts of the island will continue since the repair work on the Lakvijay thermal power plant in Norachole were not successful. According to the Deputy Chairman of the Ceylon Electricity Board, Anra Vijaypala, the power cuts will be imposed until Wednesday, based on the schedule released earlier. Now, he added that after reviewing the situation on the 15th of this month, a decision will be reached regarding the times in which power will be disrupted.
The Lakvijay power plant was forced to shut down recently due to mineral deposits on the power line connecting Norachole and Veyangoda. The CEB has enlisted the services of Chinese engineers as well and are attempting to make the plant operational once again. However, their efforts have proved to be unsuccessful so far. Yesterday, they attempted to power up the generator and connect it to the central supply. It was then that we realized that there was a defect in the fourth bearing of the generator. We realized that we should dismantle it and repair it. Thereby, the turbine will not function for about 2 weeks so that the necessary repairs can be made. While CEB engineers are at full pace attempting to repair the Norachole power plant, the Deputy Minister of Power and Energy, Premalal Jayasekara, visited the Sabaragamuwa Mahasaman Devalaya to seek the assistance of the weather gods. Meanwhile, in Colombo, CEB employees who launched a trade union action are continuing their strike action. They gathered opposite the head office of the CEB and demanded officials grant their requests. As a result of the demonstration, vehicular traffic along the Colombo Fort Road was also hampered. As a result of the trade union action, the Ceylon Electricity Board decided to temporarily recruit 5,000 individuals to its workforce. We have issued a circular granting permission to the General Manager of the CEB to recruit up to 5,000 individuals on a temporary basis. This is an essential service. We cannot stop generating electricity simply because there is a strike. Hence, we have provided him the opportunity to recruit a group of individuals on a temporary basis. We challenge them to recruit 5,000 individuals and maintain this service. They are attempting to destroy the electrical appliances of 4 million electricity consumers in the country. This is a technical institution. You cannot recruit 5,000 individuals and maintain this service. This is a big challenge. The CEB employees are carrying out their trade union action based on several demands. They demand that the authorities provide their promised salary increments and withdraw warning letters issued against CEB employees who engaged in a previous demonstration. If they are willing to grant what they promised in writing, we are willing to stop our trade union action. If you do not withdraw this warning letter, we will not return to work. When an employee commits a mistake, a warning should be issued. If an institution's discipline has fallen to such a level where employees are asking us to withdraw such warnings, then such an institution cannot be sustained. As a board, we will not advise the General Manager to withdraw this letter. The Chinese power plant, which was brought to Sri Lanka after spending millions of public money, has become a bane to the country. This plant is not even worth a Chinese bicycle. However, it was declared open on 2 occasions. What was the punishment that was given for wasting public funds? If those involved in this transaction are punished, then we too can consider this letter. This is not up to the required standard. We have informed this to the Chinese company Semed. We have said that this should be rectified immediately. They have accepted that there are some shortcomings. There are no arguments over it. They have accepted that there are several shortcomings in the plant. The Lakvijay coal power plant, Norachole. The first phase is declared open. Since the day it was opened, the plant has not functioned on 138 days due to various reasons. We expect that when the second phase of the Lakvijay plant in Putlam is declared open in October next year, the problems encountered will be mitigated to a certain extent. Will the second phase also result in a failed power plant? We are not satisfied with the situation at the power plant. Will work on the second phase continue with issues being experienced in the first phase?
A consensus was reached on 14 proposals regarding Sri Lankan Tamils at the Tamil Ilam Support Summit held in Chennai, India yesterday.
The DMK, or the Dravida Munnetra Kalaham, organised the Tamil Ilam Support Summit under the theme Ensuring the Rights of Sri Lankan Tamils. The summit commenced yesterday under the auspices of DMK leader M. Karunanidhi. A group including Tamil Nadu politicians as well as foreign representatives were present at the opening day of the summit. However, a situation arose after the Tamil Nadu police denied permission to host the summit, citing many issues including the breach of law and order. Thereafter, the DMK filed a petition at the Chennai High Court requesting permission to hold the summit. In the 11th hour, a bench comprising of 2 judges granted permission for the conference after imposing some conditions. Meanwhile, here in Colombo, a demonstration organised by the Federation of National Organisations was held opposite the Indian High Commissioner's official residence against the summit yesterday.
Up next is a look at the newspaper cartoon of the day.
A 3-member strong independent panel appointed by Australian Prime Minister Julia Gillard has recommended offshore processing centres for asylum seekers in Nauru and Papua New Guinea.
The panel has also recommended that the Australian government pursue a refugee agreement with Malaysia. Australia has seen an increase in the number of people arriving by boats in recent months. At least 170 people arrived in 3 boats over the weekend. The panel said that its recommendations aim to encourage people to seek asylum through official channels and reduce the number of illegal boat arrivals. Gillard has been pushing for a compromise deal on the issue for some time. Her Labour Party backed a refugee swap deal with Malaysia, under which Australia would send 800 asylum seekers who arrived by boat to Malaysia and receive 4,000 refugees in return over 4 years. Last year, a court ruled against such a move, saying that Malaysia, which has not signed any UN refugee conventions, did not offer adequate protection. Asylum seekers often target Christmas Island off Australia's northwest coast to get to the country. They make the dangerous journey in boats which are usually overloaded and poorly maintained.
The Ministry of Finance and Planning says that tariffs on imported big onions and potatoes have been increased with effect from today. Issuing a media release, the ministry states that the decision to increase tariffs was arrived at to guarantee a fair price for local farmers when their produce would be distributed to the markets later this month. Accordingly, the existing 25 rupee tariff per kilogram of imported big onions has been increased to 50 rupees, while the existing tariff of 10 rupees per kilogram of imported potatoes has been increased to 30 rupees. Meanwhile, on BizFirst, loans from Sri Lanka's banking system fell to 14.5 billion rupees in June this year from 41.8 billion a month earlier, with state credit no longer pressuring the banking system. Official data indicates that credit to corporations and the private sector increased by 77.8% and 31.6% respectively from a year earlier.
In June this year, the government obtained 1,010.3 billion rupees in loans from commercial banks. The latest official data shows that this was a reduction of 14.5 billion rupees from May. Credit to state enterprises continued to grow in June by 9 billion rupees to 275.6 billion rupees, up 77.8% from a year earlier, down from 44.7% growth shown in May. Meanwhile, year-on-year, state corporations obtained 120.6 billion rupees more in loans from the banking system. The private sector obtained loans amounting to 2,234.9 billion rupees from the banking sector in June this year.